Hello, this is Diego Castro with the School of Magic of Love, and today we are continuing our workshop about the universal laws in our daily living. And today we are talking about laws, and this is going to be very simple for us. The following is a sentence that masters use. Everything that is within the law works by itself and flows by itself. Everything that is outside the law, it's not difficult, it's impossible. Nothing can be done outside the laws of the universe. Of course, we can go against some principle, but it is only because it is allowed by superior laws and also with a learning purpose, so that we can verify in our own experience what happens when we break some laws. Of course, I am going to show you a diagram of the superior laws and the inferior laws, but for now it is also important that you understand that we can never violate superior laws. We can only violate or get out of inferior laws, but of superior laws it is impossible for us to violate or to get out of the order of the universe. I know, of course, that it is here where our human ideas come to our minds. For instance, if we think, Diego, what happens when someone kills another person? Is that within the law? Of which law? Here is where our conflict starts because we have a lot of principles and ideas about good and evil, and so we suppose that evil should end. And that is our main blockage to understand the law. I will also like to continue with our first exercise, so that we can verify the law in our own experience. I am going to ask you two questions. The first question is the following. What is the difference between what you need and what you want? Even though this is a simple question, there is a great difference. And the other question is, how can you know that you need what you want? So, if you want, stop or pause this video for a minute and take a moment to ponder for a while about these questions. So, what is it? Well, we find if we take a moment to ponder for a while, we are going to find that what we want is exactly what we don't have. As simple as that. No matter if it's material, in relations, sentimental, spiritual, or any other aspect, we always want what we don't have. So the difference between what we want and what we need is that we want what we don't have. And now, what is it, what we need? Now, remember this, we need exactly what we have. And we want exactly what we don't have. Now, have you ever think, what is it, what you want? We all, as human beings, want something, and that something corresponds exactly to what we don't have. For instance, a millionaire would like to have peace, less stress, more time for himself, things that money can buy. Someone who is sick would like to have health. Someone who lives in what we call poverty would like to have money. Someone who is in a relationship would like to be alone. And the person who is alone would like to be in a relationship. And so we can continue on forever. This is something very real in our lives. We always want what we don't have. And this is one of our major conflicts as human beings. We always want what we don't have. And because our minds are so focused in wanting what we don't have, we forget about something very important. We forget about valuing what we already have. Listen, the conflict of wanting is nothing different to any human being, no matter if he has money, health, he is alone, in a relationship, or any other situation. There is always something that we want, and this has a direct relation with our ego. Why is that? Because our ego can never be filled. Our ego is always wanting more. Our ego can never be satisfied. So, our first definition for us to get closer to the law is we need exactly what we have. Of course, we may think that there are people who have things in excess. I assure you it is not that way. There is no one who has in excess. They have what they need. We also may think that there are people who have few things. It is not that way. They have what they need. So what we need to find out is the following. Necessary for what? Well, for now it is very important that you understand that there is no one who doesn't have what is necessary. Complaining about not having what is necessary is not recognizing the presence of the law. And complaining about not having what we want is also not recognizing the presence of the law. So, let us take a look to the second question. Sometimes we want some things and we have them. We may think, well, I have what I want. So, how can you know that you need what you want? Well, when you want something and you have it, it's because you needed it. When you want something and you can have it, it's because you didn't need it. As simple as that. This, again, has a direct relation with our ego, with our mental limitations, with our ignorance inside ourselves that we call our ego. So, we need what we have. Now, how valuable is what we have? If I do not value what I have, then that is my problem. And if I do not value what I have, I can hardly get more. And I am also in the way of losing what I already have. The difference, for instance, a little child and a grown-up person is that the little child does not have an ego. And because of that, he is free. He wants nothing. He just simply receives what he needs and accepts what is said to him. An adult cannot do this. Why is that? Because we as adults have ego. Ask yourselves this, and this is very, very important. What is it I learn when I can have what I want? Just ponder about that. What is it that I learn when I can have what I want? I learn to recognize the law. I can have what I want because it does not correspond to me to have it. And it does not correspond with me because it is ruled by a law in the universe. So we can say that we all have what we need, no more, no less. Again, it may appear, as I said before, that some people have in excess, but that's not what happened. That apparently excess is necessary for a reason, and we could also suppose that someone don't have what is necessary. It is not like that. We all have what is necessary. The question here again is necessary for what? That is what we are going to find in our next video. And I would like to finish with the following. I know that this information goes against our system of beliefs, of what we have learned by culture. It is something opposed to what we have learned. And why is that? Because this is a new information and that goes against our system of beliefs. The reaction of our ego is to question it, to reject it. But as I told you before, this information is not to be believed. Please do not believe in what I am teaching you in this information. We can verify this information. Just take a look to think about your life. How valid is it for our inner peace, for our harmony, for our happiness, everything that culture has taught us? Just ponder for a while. We have not been able yet to find happiness, satisfaction, peace, and harmony in our lives with what we have learned by culture. With what we have learned by culture, we generate wars, boundaries, everything that we are living, and is called our system of beliefs. When we say that these principles collide with our beliefs, it's true, because we are looking for a way to free our minds from our mental limitations, from our ignorance, from our inner conflicts, and most of all, from our suffering. And when we try to do it, we find a blockage in our ego, because our ego does not accept that we can stop suffering and having inner conflicts. But that is exactly what we are proposing. We are proposing for a way to free ourselves from our mental limitations, from our inner conflicts, and from our suffering. That's all, and that you can verify in your lives. So, that's all for this video. If you like it, put like on it. If you have any question, please write it down below. I hope you all have a nice week and see you all in the next video.